Speaking of tone, though, I'm gonna hop to some of the Bat fam because there was casting news for Gotham Knights, which has me wondering what the tone of the show is going to be. I'm excited either way. They might try to do a balance of dark and funny, but just to get our listeners hip to the news if they don't know. So they've casted Fallon Smythe as Harper Row, who, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yes.
she's a, yes. Okay. And she's
yes,
a streetwise.
I just wanted to double check that.
Like, let's have our facts correct. No, because people really do love the Bat family. We have to be up on our information. But she's going to be a streetwise, blue-haired bisexual who's an engineer whiz. And she's the sister of Cullen Row, who's going to be played by Tyler. I'm going to try to pronounce this right. I'm going to say it's Di Chayara, who's a trans teen who's tired of hiding who he is, and he's clever and good at reading. He's also described as wanting to fight back now that he's really found his sense of self. And the casting that I'm the most excited about is Nivea Robinson, who's going to play Carrie Kelly, who's our Robin. If I've heard of Nivea, she was on Raven's Home. And so we've gone from Disney to the CW, which seems to be like a good hop for her. This should be really great. She's described as fearless, idealistic, and plucky as hell. And then I guess we'll save the last two just so we can get into these three.
I like those three castings. I also like those three characters because they are comic book characters, and we know when this was brought up there was the whole question of will the CW go down the comic book route or will they go down the Legends of Tomorrow route and just cast a load of original characters and make them DC heroes. No, I think they've kind of gone a bit of both routes here in that we now have three DC characters. Harper Row, who's Bluebird, that's over the recent years, that character's really grown up and become an incredibly popular member of the Bat family. Cullen Row, I am less familiar with, but he is he does exist in the comics, and I do know of him by name, but I never really followed any of the stories he was involved in. And the one that excites me the most, Carrie Kelly. We had a conversation a while ago about how the show will definitely include a Robin. In my mind, this one was never an option because I never thought they would go there. And I'm very pleased that they did. Obviously, in the comics, we have four Robins and Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Damian Wayne, Bruce's actual son. So everyone thought maybe Damian would be the one that popped up, but the show would rewrite that he was an adopted son. But we've decided to completely scrap that route altogether and bring in Carrie Kelly, who is most famous for appearing in the comic The Dark Knight Returns. And even though she hasn't appeared all that often outside of the Dark Knight series, she's been an incredibly popular character throughout. So I'm really excited to see. I believe this will be her first live action portrayal. So I'm really excited to see how it goes.
She's a deep cut, folks. I'm excited for her because I know she got cut from Raven's Home. I don't know if that was her choice or a creative decision behind the scenes, but it's so cool to see a Disney Channel star make the leap to the CW so soon, because I feel like we don't see that so quickly, because the span of time in between Raven's Home and this is so short. But I think there's a lot to be excited about for her casting specifically, but all of the castings, the three that we're talking about right now.
Yeah, I think so too, because Black Girl Robin, yes. As you two know, I got weepy when the news dropped. I'm so excited. I like that the CW is continuing to push for more representation. Obviously, we need to hold their feet to the fire when it comes to how that representation is portrayed on screen. But the fact that you have a bisexual character and a trans character also, and I'm assuming going to be lead roles, is good. I mean, it's continuing to step in the right direction for the network in terms of allowing more stories to be told. I'm just hoping that they have real fleshed out, grounded stories, because we already know they'll probably do really well with the two other castings. So there's Oscar Morgan as Turner Hayes, who's going to play well, we're going to assume that that's Bruce's son because he's described as being the adoptive child of a billionaire, and he's trying to live up to his father's name. I don't know who else, what other billionaire that would be. Obviously, it sounds like Bruce to us. And then you have Olivia Rose Keegan as Duella, and she's described as being abrasive and a little unhinged. And she was born in Arkham Asylum, and her father is the most dangerous man in Gotham. When I read that, I immediately thought Joker and Harley's child, perhaps, but we'll see.
These are very interesting castings because on one end you have a character who I do believe is 100% original, and I know that will frustrate a lot of people because you have this comic book story and it's led by a new version of the Bat family, but the three comic book characters are going to be more supporting roles, and it looks like the lead role will be an original character, and I can see where that frustration will come from. I do not believe Turner Hayes exists in the comics, but I'm definitely open to giving it a try. Like we've said, Legends of Tomorrow did a good job introducing original characters and making them DC heroes. Duella is an interesting one because I love that description that her father is the most dangerous man in Gotham. It doesn't tell us which, and that kind of alludes to her comic book backstory in that she was introduced in the Joker's daughter arc, but she also claimed to be Catwoman's daughter, Scarecrow's daughter, Penguin's daughter, Riddler's daughter, before Robin dropped the bombshell that she was in fact Two-Face's daughter. So I feel like that's got CW drama written all over it, and I really want to see that arc adapted on the CW just for the chaos it would cause.
Do you guys think, since I know when the show was announced, it was kind of polarizing to fans, do you think, as two people who are more invested in this world than I am, seeing some faces to these characters and hearing the descriptions, does it settle any like doubts you might have had initially?
Question.
Or do you think it'll any fans who were like apprehensive or like, we don't want this, do you think they'll be like, oh, okay, this seems like it's something that I can get into?
I personally, I didn't have doubts because I came in with an open mind about Gotham Knights. I was just excited to be doing more things in Gotham. But as far as fans who are like, not sure, I think it could go one of two ways. There'll be the people who are frustrated because it, like Michael mentioned, the lead character is going to be an original character. They also might be more diverse than some people want, which I'm sorry, guys. Well, actually, I'm not sorry. This is the wave of the future. This is what we're doing. Get on the train or, watch something else. Like, you don't have to tune in. No one's making you.
It's an optional train. It's an optional train.
Yes, exactly.
Wait for the next one.
But the people who were like, okay, I know that we're doing Gotham, or we're going to do a more diverse Gotham, or we're going to continue with the trend of the Arrowverse diversifying, they might be like, this lineup looks good to me. I might at least watch the first episode.
Yeah, I can see. I don't want to see the other side of the argument, but I can see it being an issue for some people. That it's got CW aspects written all over it, but like, it's a CW show. What were you expecting? It's a train I want to be part of. Absolutely. I don't have the issues that the rest of the people have whenever there's a new CW superhero show announced. Heck, I don't even have those issues whenever there's a new CW show announced. I'll hop on that train anyway. So I feel like this had me written all over it, and it still has me written all over it. I would be tuning into this even if it's on the dreaded Sunday night slots, you can bet I'll be there.
So you're like, no.
Like, don't manifest it. I mean, I'll be there, but don't manifest it.
Yes, I'm not speaking that into existence. My apologies. No, but everything about that looks good to me. It will be interesting, and it's not going to be as closely tied to the Batman story as everybody really wants a CW Batman show to be. It definitely looks like it's going to go more of the Batwoman route and existing outside of a previous Batman verse that we can no longer talk about. But as far as that goes, I'm definitely on board, and I think it looks great.